What's
Can
up,
you
man?
hear me okay?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
all
I'm not
good.
very good with technology, so it's a miracle I'm here.
I like that you put your name as Jack Daniels too.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, it's been my name for a long time, even though I don't drink anymore, but still there.
Yeah, it's all good though. But how you been feeling? Everything been good?
Yeah, everything's great. Really good.
Okay. You guys are in Vegas right now, right?
Yeah, we're shooting a video tonight.
Nice. You allowed to say which song, or is it still a surprise?
It's I don't know if it's supposed to be a surprise or not, but I'll tell you. It's a song called "Waiting on a Twist of Fate."
Okay. All right. Very cool. Yeah, I saw you guys posted up. You're looking for some extras and everything, and
Yeah.
yeah, should be a fun time out there. But it's good to see you, and it's exciting that you guys are, kind of doing so much. I mean, a little bit bittersweet with everything that's been going on, though. But first off, it's great to see you. It's great to see that you're doing well. It kind of gave us a little bit of a scare a few months back with COVID and all of that. So you're looking good, man.
Cool, thanks. Yeah, COVID, man. I had COVID twice before that and it was fine. And then on that third one, that was the charm. And yeah, I got pneumonia, put me in the hospital. But then, 2 weeks later, I had to be back on stage. We played the When We Were Young festival. So the second I got out of the hospital, I was like, okay, back in the gym, like it's go time and just get back out there.
Yeah.
And I forgot about it. It was like within a couple days, it was like, well, that was the past. Yeah, I just was my focus was I got a show coming up and that's the rear view.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm happy that you're doing healthy and the family's good and everything. I know you got the kids got some birthdays here. Sure, you're pretty busy,
Yes,
eh?
it's true. I know. I mean, our whole family has birthdays within weeks from each other. It goes like my son, and then 5 days later, my daughter, and then my wife 5 days later, and then me 2 weeks later.
Jeez. You guys just got to do like a whole like joint big celebration type thing.
One giant expensive birthday party.
Yeah, February and March gets a little bit
Yeah,
expensive, eh?
yeah, yeah. Perfect time right after Christmas.
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, my daughter's birthday is the week before Christmas, so December
Okay.
it crushes. So,
Yeah, yeah.
that's cool, man. But it's like I said, it's kind of bittersweet everything going on with Sum 41 right now, and let's focus on some of the sweet part of all of that. We'll hit rewind 20 years since the release of Chuck. I
Oh yeah.
Personally,
Wow.
my favorite album from you guys. So, I'm very excited about that. Obviously with the upcoming tour and the new double album and everything, that's kind of the main focus. But, with this being, a major anniversary, like, is there anything special that you guys have planned as far as, the shows or, the album just in general?
I mean, the final. This is a final tour, so that's the whole thing is like a big. It's tough to try to fit everything in and what we're gonna do. Plus, on top of it, there's a brand new album, and it's a double album. So, it's a lot of songs to try to fit in. But I think we've always been a band that really likes to play songs that we think everybody knows, right? We don't sit and just play a whole brand new album and did four old songs. Like
Yeah.
we like it to be fun for us and for the audience as well. So I think what we're going to plan on doing is it's a greatest hits with fan favorites plus a couple new songs from the new record. So I think there'll be a bit of everything in there. There'll be Chuck stuff, and I think we're gonna have to switch it up too. I think we may lean on certain things one night. Maybe we'll do some more Chuck songs one night, maybe some more of whatever. We'll switch it up. There's just too many songs to play.
Yeah.
You
I
have
mean,
to switch it up.
yeah, you got a lot of albums, and like you said, the double album, which two completely different sounds for Heaven and Hell. So that has to make
Mhm.
it a little bit tougher as far as structuring the entire set. It's like you don't want to have too many downer
Yeah, yeah. I
versus
mean, we've had a funny career because we've gone through different, like we've had pop punk stuff and we've had metal stuff, but then there's also like the ballad stuff, like off of Chuck, there's pieces and stuff like that. So we do have this sort of like roller coaster kind of weaving through different sounds throughout the show already. But you're right, it's funny putting a set list together because you kind of have to take all that into consideration and build a show that kind of ebbs and flows in a way.
Yeah, for sure. And I know throw in a couple of festival dates with all of that, which that's its own
Hmm.
piece. But we're looking forward to seeing you guys going to be here in Louisville in September, late in September. So
Yep.
it's gonna be a fun time for that. With the festival setting there. But just getting into the double album and everything. Obviously, we've been playing Landmines here on All 105.1 for a long
Thank
time
you.
now.
Thank you.
And I looked at real time like just before we hopped on just so I could
Yeah.
see. But currently, Landmines at Alt Radio is number 2. So this is the
It's
biggest number
crazy.
at radio that you guys have had since Fat Lip. And I
Since
mean,
Fat Lip, I know.
yeah, and there's a good chance that through this weekend it could be number 1 by the end of the weekend. So, obviously, like the accolades, it can be exciting. It's not everything when it comes to music, but how does that kind of sit in your mind, knowing that and thinking about that longevity and that connection that the band still has with fans over this, 28 years that you guys have been a band?
I mean, it's incredible. I mean, none of this stuff ever gets old, right? Like hearing the song on the radio is as exciting as it was when I was 20, and the first time I ever heard ourselves on the radio. Um, it's it's never expected, especially at this point in my life. Like I don't take anything for granted. I don't expect anything to ever happen. So everything is a surprise and everything is exciting. Um, and I mean that like truly honestly. It's when we put this song out, I didn't know if it would get played at all. You just never know. I mean, we've had so many ups and downs. We've gone through it all in our career. We've had songs that don't get played. We've had songs that go number one. So you never really know what's going to happen. So for this to be happening right now and the shows to be selling out and everything doing so well, um, I mean, things have felt like they've been building for the past 10 years. When I had my health stuff about 10 years ago and I was in the hospital and my liver failed and I got out, we were at the lowest point of our band we'd ever been. And I made this decision that we were going to try to build back up and be bigger and better than we've ever been. And it's been a decade now. It'll be 10 years this April that I got out of the hospital. So to see it kind of steadily grow over this past decade and now to get to this point, I mean, that's the most exciting thing, to look back at where I was 10 years ago and had that decision to get to this point. And it was daunting and almost, in a lot of ways, like it felt like almost impossible, just for how low, what a low point the band was at, just personally and professionally. So this moment right now that's a long way for me to say I feel incredible about where everything is at right now.
Yeah, well, and it's crazy that you say that because you think about, so you make that decision and then, here you are 10 years later and you guys have made the decision like, okay, this is the last album, the last world tour. Does that decision did that play into that where it's like, okay, we've accomplished what I wanted to get back to, and so
Mhm.
this is a good stopping point.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, yes. Mostly once I listened back to the final record, it's a double record. It's one side's pop punk, one side's our sort of heavier side. Like I actually think the heavy side reminds me a lot of Chuck, and the pop punk, the heaven side reminds me a lot of like Does This Look Affected, All Killer Era. Um, Once I listened to it all back and looked back at the whole journey of the past 30 years, it just felt like the work had come, it had become complete to me. When I looked at the journey and all the ups and downs, the heaven and hell of our career, and then the heaven and hell sonically, the light and the dark musically on this record, it felt like this was the complete painting in a way, where this was the record I feel like we've been trying to make our entire lives. It's the culmination of like the whole evolution of Sum 41 musically in one record. And it just felt like this is the record to hang our hat on. And for me to, personally, I felt like it's time for me to just try to explore and see what else is out there in life. Because I don't really know what I want to do next, but I just know that I feel like I want to try new things. And it's all about growth and evolution and just see where life goes at this point.
Yeah, and obviously too, it's going to be a kind of whirlwind for the next year. So the
Yeah.
album comes out, or double album comes out March 29th. The tour for you guys kicks off in a couple of weeks in Asia, then you're
Yep.
stateside, then Europe, then Canada, then the States again,
Yeah.
wrapping things up in Toronto, in
Yeah.
January of next year. So, it's going to be a lot. So, I know you hit on it a little bit, but obviously you'll want to recharge like February
Mhm.
through who knows of 2025, but
Yeah,
like what sort of things have really kind of crossed your mind as far as what is going to come next, not only as a musician but as a person, like what do you have kind of in the back of your mind thinking like I might want to try this or I might want to focus on this?
sure. Yeah, like you said it right, where it's everything is in the back of my mind because everything right now in my focus is this album and this tour and making this the best Sum 41 tour we've ever done. And because I still love being in the band, we're not breaking up because we hate each other, we hate doing what we do. We actually love it and we feel like the band is at the best it's ever been professionally and personally, which is why we want to leave it up there. So
Mhm.
my focus is still 100% on that. But in the back of my mind, it ranges all over the place of I'd love to do an acoustic tour on my own. I'd love to potentially, I mean, I still write music all the time. I'm still writing new songs that don't quite sound like Sum 41. Maybe I'd explore that as another musical project. I'd like to produce and write for other artists. There's I have friends who work in TV and movies, and I love to explore that with them. And all these ideas pop around. I love to even potentially work on the management or record company side of developing artists. So it all kind of swirls around, but I'm not focusing on any of it.
Yeah, yeah. No, that makes sense. I mean, it's nice to, have like all of this experience too, like you said, over the past 30 years of, the highs, the lows, all of that. So, I mean, I think you can really go and do whatever the hell you want after
I think
everything.
the number one thing that I have to do though is I finally will have to take my wife on a honeymoon because I still haven't done that yet. And
Yeah,
in
yeah.
25, it'll be our 10-year anniversary. So
Well, there you go. I mean, well, try to position things in a way where it's like, all right, we're gonna do the honeymoon
yeah.
away from all the birthday stuff. Like spread,
Yeah, we
spread
went on tour right away. I got married and then just back out on the road and then back in the studio, and it's just been a cycle that never ends. Hence why I'm saying I gotta call it quits at this point because it
yeah,
never ends.
yeah. Well, I think 10 years, as an anniversary, I think that's good to take a honeymoon. Like any
Yeah,
ideas where you want to go, or she wants to go?
no, no, nothing yet, nothing yet. We're gonna plan something cool though.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, man. Well,
I'm all for suggestions.
I well,
I've never been on a vacation. I've never actually taken a vacation in my life yet, so
I'm
I don't
well.
know anything about it.
For me personally, like anytime like I think vacation, it's just like it doesn't have to be anything too extravagant. It's always just like I just want to chill and disconnect kind of vibe and everything.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
like, I'm fine like just going to like Florida or something. Like just give me some warm
sure.
weather and like I'm good. Like but my wife and I we did like a makeup honeymoon because we did a cruise for our actual honeymoon and
Uh-huh.
wasn't great.
Wasn't good?
Not good.
No.
Was not good. So she hated that. So
Uh,
we ended up
okay.
doing, a little trip to London and Paris
Oh, cool.
and just went through like a service thing. It was fantastic. So
That's cool.
that was fun. But yeah, I mean, it's all about whatever is going to help you just relax and recharge. Like
I
that's
don't know if I know how to relax. It's always like sitting on a beach or something like that sounds like I would just like have an anxiety attack. Like I gotta do something. I got
yeah.
work to do.
Well, then I would recommend like something that involves like sightseeing or
A lot
tour.
of moving around, moving
Yeah,
parts.
like if you can do that, then
Yeah.
at least you can kind of relax, but you're still doing something.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Well, I look forward to the double album coming out again March 29th, Heaven and Hell. I look forward to the tour and seeing you guys in a couple of months here, and keeping my fingers crossed for you. I mean, I'm hoping that Landmines hits that number one spot this weekend for you.
Well, we could use a few more spins.
Hey,
Anything you could do.
I got the proof that says that I threw in some
I
extras.
know. That's
I'm,
cool.
I'm
Awesome.
doing my
Thank
part.
you. No, I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Of course, man, Derek. Thanks for taking the time, man. Enjoy the rest of your day. The music video shoot later, and we'll see you soon. All right.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much.
All right. Take it
Talk
easy,
to
man.
you later. All right, see ya.